everything is about confidence. What makes a woman very attractive and magnetic is confidence, for a large part. Even though you don't feel confident, you can do a lot with your body language. In this video, I will teach you how to develop the magnetic aura of confidence that you can achieve through powerful yet feminine gestures. Hello my dear viewers, welcome to my channel and welcome back. For all my viewers who know me, I have been away for some weeks because life has become very busy. My work and dancing and all those things. But now I'm back and I have created a wonderful thing for you, and this video is part of it. It is the first part of it. It is a mini-series. The mini-series, I call it The Magnetic Woman, because it will be all about you and your feminine presence and how to develop it in different ways. This video here will focus on the tools that we have, that our body gives us, and how to use them. The next video will go more into more captivating, deeper techniques of how to command attention. And then the third video will focus on feminine energy and how to own a room with your energy. That's why I would strongly recommend you to, if you are not yet subscribe, but also to click the notification bell. Also the ones who are subscribed, if you haven't activated the bell, YouTube will usually not show you my newest videos. This is kind of a strange thing about the algorithm, so it is really important to activate the bell. So do that now, and we will start with part 1, the magnetic aura of confidence and how to develop it through feminine body language. The first tool that we have, and that I would say is the most powerful tool, is eye contact. So here is how to create eye contact and use your gaze in a way that is confident and at the same time feminine and inviting. Look directly at a person's eyes for around 3 to 4 seconds, not longer, because after 4 seconds the person will perceive you as staring at them, and that's of course not confident, that's too much. And then glance away. This is something that will already establish eye contact in an intense way, but you will glance away early enough before it becomes weird. Normally this is very difficult for shy women because, as I said, 3 to 4 seconds can feel like an eternity. So if it is too much, you can also start with 2 seconds or 3 seconds and then glance away. Eye contact is really a sign of confidence, and doing it in the right length, not too long, not too short, is extremely powerful. The second thing to do, or that you can do, is to soften your gaze. So now that you have established this intensity, you also of course want to be perceived as feminine and soft. So basically you can imagine someone that you genuinely care about. It can be a person, a child, or even a pet. The trick here is that this will soften your gaze instantly, even though you are looking at someone else. And this is something that can even lead to the dilution of your pupils. That means that your pupils will dilute, they will become bigger, and this makes eyes more attractive and it makes the gaze softer. Our pupils sometimes dilute, yes, even if we are thinking about something specific, and it is scientifically proven, it has been tested, that sometimes the thought of someone you genuinely care about or something will cause this physical effect in your eyes. But the person that you will be talking to will of course perceive this effect, so they will think that they are the reason why you have those diluted pupils, why your gaze has become so softened. Or maybe they will just perceive something very warm and inviting from your side. That's why this is also very powerful. You can use those eye techniques that I have described, especially of course in romantic sceneries, in romantic situations, when you're talking to someone, but also when you met someone for the first time, or in casual chats. Let's come to the second most powerful tool that a woman has, your posture. So as this is the second most powerful tool of your body, you shouldn't neglect this one. But it is very easy to implement. And it has a lot to do with confidence. Your posture transmits very, very strongly how you feel. And this doesn't really have to correlate. So even if you don't feel very confident, if your posture shows that, people will still perceive you as confident. I will give you the most easy technique that I'm also using for myself, even though my posture is not perfect, because I have naturally a problem in my spine. It is not totally straight. So I have actually to work a lot more than most people on my posture, but this works for everyone. So it is the imagination of a string pulling your head up. So a string that is attached to the crown of your head. So what should happen is that you elongate your whole body by imagining the string, but also pulling your shoulders back slightly, not too much. And your head will be elevated, but it should still stay straight. So not elevate like this, but elevate it in a straight way. And then also your chest will open up. All of this will make you not only more confident, but also more elegant and graceful. And as I said, even though you might not feel that confident, your posture will reflect it, and eventually your brain will adapt this feeling. Because our brain and our body, they communicate, they influence each other. You know that when you feel sad, when you feel really depressed, then your whole posture shows. On the contrary, if you change your posture and you really, for example, you go dancing and then you change your posture, you elevate yourself, in most cases, after some time, you don't feel that depressed anymore, because your body tells a different story and your brain recognizes, oh wait, she cannot actually be so depressed because she moves as if she wasn't. That's why it is so important and so powerful. I don't even want to get much more deeper here, because this is the most easy thing to remember. But I want to tell you a technique that you can use when you are really, really down and you still have to go out and maybe hold a presentation, maybe you have an interview, maybe you will be among people and you really feel insecure. So that's the power pose. I have talked about it in some other video, but because it is so powerful and so effective, scientifically proven of course, I will tell it here again. So what you do is basically, and it has to do with this brain-body correlation, you have to stand in front of a mirror and elevate yourself, push your shoulders back and your head up, and stand very, very grounded. So don't stand in the feminine ways that I have taught you in my former videos. For this purpose, stand very grounded with your hips, with your legs hip width apart, and put your hands in your waist like this. Stand like Wonder Woman. And look at yourself in the mirror. You can do that for a few minutes. And by this posture, or your brain will see that in the mirror, you will start to feel more confident. And you don't need to do this when you're among people, and don't worry, you will not lose your femininity, even though this is quite masculine, because when you go out, you can again walk in an elegant and graceful way, the way that I have already taught you, but you will feel more confident. Try it next time and you will see. Now we come to the next tool, another powerful tool and another secret of body language and of perception. It is the walk. And especially, because here I'm focusing on the thing that will make you magnetic, the pace of your walk. You should always, if you want to exude a magnetic confidence, walk with ease and don't rush. If you walk into a room in a slow way, more slowly than others, you will automatically command attention because people will start following your movements. Slow movements are somehow magnetic to the human brain. Maybe you know it yourself. I mean, think of all those slow motion scenes in movies or in videos. I mean, I have to admit, if I see something in slow motion, it really attracts me. It looks much more, you know, romantic, elegant, feminine, attractive. The same happens when you yourself move more slowly. When you enter a room, when you take your seat, when you walk around to get something. And of course, you will also exude more confidence, because someone who moves and walks slow doesn't need to rush, commands attention, and is very confident and calm. And this is something that attracts people, that makes you magnetic. And besides that, of course, you should learn my walking techniques. And if you like, watch the walking tutorials and the archetype test and everything. I have made a whole playlist with tutorials and videos about walking femininely and elegantly and different walking styles. I will link it down below so that you can watch it if you are new here. But for this purpose, just remember one thing: walk more slowly. Of course, you shouldn't annoy people. I mean, be a little bit attentive also. Don't walk slowly when you are, like, I don't know, when someone is rushing behind you, or you are in a situation in which you would really annoy people by the slow walk. No, you know what I mean. Be a little bit mindful. I mean situations in which you walk into a room or walk past something and you have the space. And now we come to the fourth tool, the art of the smile. Actually, the smile is almost as powerful as your eyes, but I wanted to give it a separate point. A smile is more than friendliness, even though of course it usually transmits friendliness. But it is also a sign of confidence. What you should remember is to avoid forced and wide grins, because as powerful as a smile can be, it can also be as destructive. If it is not natural, if it is forced, you know, if it looks insecure. So I would recommend you for this purpose, of course it depends on your personality, how often you smile, how you smile, if you smile with an open smile or with closed lips. For this purpose, for the purpose of appearing more confident in a magnetic way, I would rather recommend you to smile a bit less, meaning maybe with a closed mouth, or slightly open when you're in a conversation. But focus on a genuine smile that also includes your eyes. If this doesn't work and your eyes don't engage, your smile will not be natural. So the best is to really feel it when greeting someone, when talking to someone, when listening. It makes you approachable yet poised. By the way, in the end of this video, I will also show you some scenes from movies with some examples of feminine women or that use all of those tools. So stay until the end so that you can watch that, so that you can see that too. But before that, I just wanted to summarize. Those 4 elements are the base for commanding attention and for a magnetic aura of confidence. But of course, there are far more techniques and things that you can do. But the other ones that we will come to in the next video, they are rather techniques that will already captivate. So those are things like specific hand gestures, techniques such as mirroring, if you've heard about that. So those are things that are very interesting and that I want to teach you also, so that you can become a magnetic woman in the end. So again, activate that notification bell, very important. So now the quick summary with the scenes from the movies, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye!